On Time PBS World tonight, former Prime Minister Abhisit says he will return to Democrat Party if it restores its ideology. The cabinet list under the Pheu Thai administration is expected to be ready in 2 weeks. And former Ratchaburi mayor and Pheu Thai's ally wins local elections.
Good evening, and you're watching Thai PBS World Tonight. I'm Nad Wunna.
I'm Frank Kanchi.
I will begin tonight with what has been happening in Thai politics, and a lot has been going on with the Pheu Thai government.
And it's quite tumultuous and chaotic at this moment because we've seen that right now, Democrat Party joining hands with Pheu Thai.
Yep, and that has been really surprising for many people because considering that Pheu Thai and the Democrat Party have always been rivals for the past 20 years, but the idea that the Democrat Party is joining hands with the ruling Pheu Thai party already that's a bold move as well. And as you may have been aware that they have decided to join hands in this coalition government, but because of this news story, this has actually affected the popularity of Thailand's oldest political party, and that has plunged heavily in one of the recent opinion polls. And not only the people, many of the senior members of the Democrat Party have expressed disappointment as it goes against their political ideologies. And one of them is former Prime Minister and party leader Abhisit, who gave an exclusive interview with the Thai media during the past weekend over the party's move to join hands with its long-standing rival in Thai politics. So Abhisit says that he is prepared to return to the party if it returns to its previous political ideology, but restoring its popularity and image will not be as easy. Abhisit also said that the move by the Democrat Party under the leadership of Chalermchai to join the Pheu Thai-led coalition has upset many veteran party members. Among them were 3 former party leaders, Chon Lik Pai, Banyat Banthathan, and Jurin Laksanavisit, who disagree with the strategy which was endorsed by the majority of the party's executive committee and also the MPs. Abhisit admitted, though, that he was not surprised by the party's decision, adding that he was aware of such a direction when he quit the party after a discussion with Chalermchai last December.
คือสิ่งแรกก็ต้องบอกว่าไม่ได้แปลกใจกับเหตุการณ์ที่เกิดขึ้นนะครับเป็นสิ่งที่มองเห็นมาระยะหนึ่งแล้วก็จริงๆแล้วก็เป็นเหตุผลที่วันที่ผมลาออกหลังจากที่เข้าไปคุยกับหัวหน้าพรรคปัจจุบันก็เข้าใจว่าทิศทางจะเป็นอย่างนี้ถึงได้ตัดสินใจที่จะลาออกมาแต่อย่างไรก็ตามในฐานะที่เป็นสมาชิกมาเป็นเวลานานแล้วก็ผูกพันอยู่กับพรรคเช่นเดียวกับคนอีกจำนวนมากซึ่งก็ยังคบหาพูดคุยแลกเปลี่ยนกันเนี่ยก็ต้องบอกว่าการกระทำครั้งนี้เนี่ยกระทบกระเทือนจิตใจของสมาชิกอดีตสมาชิกผู้สนับสนุนจำนวนมาก
And in the same interview, Abhisit also said that in the past few days, a number of people have shared their negative views about the Democrats joining the Pheu Thai-led coalition. However, since the current party leadership has made the decision, they should be held accountable. Abhisit said he wonders how the Democrat Party, with only 2 cabinet seats in the new government, will be able to implement its policy and restore the party's popularity, adding that the party's presence will not enhance the government's stability per se. The only tangible gain for the party is the promise of the 2 cabinet seats. He also said that there is still an opportunity to create a new political space for people who have become disillusioned with the changing or disappearance of ideology from several parties. The Pheu Thai party claims in its letter of invitation to the Democrat Party that they share similar ideologies, but Abhisit said that the Pheu Thai party has not changed at all, but the Democrat Party may have. But when he was being asked about the future of the Democrat Party, he said that he is very concerned, but it is now up to the party's executives as to how they will handle this problem.
อยากจะให้เข้าใจว่ามันไม่ใช่เรื่องของความขัดแย้งในอดีต หรือการยึดติดกับเรื่องเก่าอันนี้มันเป็นเรื่องที่คนที่เขากระทบกระเทือนจิตใจมองว่ามันขัดกับความเป็นประชาธิปัตย์ที่ยึดถือกันมาช้านานนะครับไม่ว่าจะเป็นในแง่ของอุดมการณ์ที่ประกาศไว้ตั้งแต่ก่อตั้งพรรคกับแนวทางที่พรรคได้ทำงานทางการเมืองมาตลอด
And that was Abhisit's response to the Thai media yesterday as to the political move by the current Democrat Party under the leadership of Cherlim Chaisyon. And as we said earlier, many people, especially the veteran members of the Democrat Party, are not happy with their decision at all.
Especially one of the patriarch, Chuan Pai, the former
Yes.
Prime Minister, strongly opposed this decision to join Pheu Thai Party because, of course, this is the long-time rivalry for past 2 decades since Thaksin, former Prime Minister, of course, right now, Pheu Thai's father, since that period, and they already have the conflicts together until Ingla Chinawat, the auntie of Pheu Thai,
Yeah.
2014, and we see, of course, also the red and yellow shirt protests. That conflicts really heighten the tension between Democrat and Pheu Thai. But right now, we see them hold hands together because, of course, Pheu Thai wants to maintain the stability in the parliament. Of course, they give Democrat the promise that 2 seats in the cabinet. But right now, still, we haven't seen the cabinet list out yet. But for some people, inside Democrat Party, for the Democrat supporters, is quite surprising.
Right, and before we go on and talk about the cabinet list, which is still under speculation, like we said earlier, that many of the senior members of the Democrat Party are not happy with the party's decision to join hands with the Pheu Thai Party and its coalition. And among the top reasons is the ruling party's heavyweight, which directly refers to Thaksin Shinawat. In fact, Thaksin's dominance over the government is being much debated for the past few weeks, ever since Paetongtarn became the Prime Minister of Thailand. So the big question is whether this will become a threat or an opportunity for Thailand's future. Recently, I had a chance to talk to political scientist Dr. Thitipon Phakdiwanit on this issue.
ไม่มีครอบงำหรอกครับครอบครอง
I'm not dominating her, but she's still my daughter. This was Thaksin Shinawat's response to claims that he has been trying to dominate his daughter, Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawat. Since his return to Thailand, questions have been raised about Thaksin's alleged attempt to control the Pheu Thai-led government and Thai politics. It has prompted an anonymous petition seeking to dissolve the Pheu Thai Party for allowing Thaksin, who's technically an outsider, to have power over a political party. Political scientist Dr. Thitipon Phakdiwanit thinks that Paetongtarn's ability as a prime minister is already being questioned. Even worse, Thaksin's involvement on several occasions has undermined Paetongtarn's ability as the country's leader.
I think the way he has been doing is also kind of overshadowing Paetongtarn, who is now appointed as Prime Minister of Thailand. I don't think he is aware of that. And the other thing is that because she doesn't look very competent amongst other people, when they perceive Paetongtarn and compare with other young politicians, like from people parties and other parties. So this is one other thing as well, because she doesn't appear to be able to stand by herself. If you look at candidates from the then Move Forward Party, they always talk policies. And Paetongtarn, she just repeat what perhaps her father would have said, because most people actually believe that the party's policy came from Thaksin himself. So she just talked about those kind of populist policy, the way they mobilized the digital cash wallet things. And so, but she doesn't talk about other things in substance, how to restructure the country, how to reallocate budget, that kind of thing in a more substantive way or with details.
In fact, Thaksin has always been seen as a powerful figure, particularly in business and the political establishment. Dr. Thitipon thinks that Thaksin may still be able to contribute to the Thai economy due to the connections he built while he was living in self-imposed exile, in addition to his existing connections with large businesses in Thailand. His role and influence will, however, not contribute positively to Thailand's democracy.
And I think one of the main reasons that he is allowed to come back because he is perceived as a figure that can help them to perhaps win over the progressive force in the next election. But when we look at the influence over people and voters, I think that has significantly declined since he left the country. Now Thailand is not the same. So I would put it this way, that he only perceived as an influential figure amongst those businesses and political establishment who believe that he can actually help them to protect their interests, but not to protect the interests of the people.
With Thaksin's alleged domination already an issue, the Pheu Thai party joining forces with its long-standing rival, the Democrat Party, goes to another level. Dr. Thitipon felt that this has proven the ruling party's desperation to stay in power and only protects its own interests. This, he thinks, will be detrimental to the future of Thailand's democracy and the party's reputation.
It just showed their desperation to stay in power. That is one thing that I can read from this, because Pheu Thai need the support of MPs, to ensure that they can have enough voice, enough votes in the parliament. That is one thing, because they want Pheu Thai to have a very stable government. So then they need a Democrat at the moment, because they are apparently breaking up with some part of Palang Pracharat. So, but then it's just just a game for power and to protect their interests.
Nad Bunag reporting for Thai PBS World.
And what Dr. Thitipon said was that Pheu Thai party is desperate to stay in power. That was why they decided to join hands with parties from the conservative wing. And we have witnessed this since the elections last year already, when they were given the baton to form its own government.
Of course, in Pheu Thai, at the beginning, actually, they say that they wouldn't hold hands with Conservative Party or Military Party, but of course, right now, they hold hands together. And right now, of course, again, they cooperate with Democrat Party.
Yep.
It's not, of course, those in politics, no one is enemy for a long time, because you have to maintain the stability and the power structure in the parliament.
And in other words, anything could happen in Thai politics. Even the ouster of Sethar Thavisin, and now Pheu Thai becomes the youngest prime minister in Thailand.
Yeah, and of course, another subject that we talk about is the cabinet list that Pheu Thai is trying to make it clear, but we're still up in the air, I think so. So the Pheu Thai cabinet is still up in the air, but the government has reassured that the new list will be finalized by this week. But it has been rumored that some of the proposed minister may not be qualified. This was revealed by former Senator Somchai, who posted on his Facebook this morning that the vetting of the proposed minister for the Pheu Thai cabinet is still on the way. However, there are rumors that they have found 11 proposed ministers who may not meet the standard qualifications for their alleged ethical misconduct. Previously, caretaker Deputy Prime Minister Phumtham Wechayachai said he expects the complete cabinet list to be ready by September 15th, plus or minus 3 days. He revealed that the National Anti-Corruption Commission had returned a list of some prospective ministers who may have qualification problems to the Secretary General of the Cabinet. He said that the list will be vetted by the Council of State, the government's legal counsel, to ensure that they comply with the law. He said he honestly wants the cabinet list to be completed as soon as possible so it can be submitted for royal assent, and once granted, the new government can start functioning. The Pheu Thai party claims to have thoroughly vetted all prospective ministers to ensure that there will be no repeat of the incidents which saw former Prime Minister Thaksin removed from office after appointing Pichi Chengban, who had served time in prison as minister to the Prime Minister's office. So of course right now we're seeing Paetongtarn and of course under the government right now in Pheu Thai-led administration, they are trying to scrutinizing those cabinet, those prospective ministers who might conflict with the rules.
Yeah, and the scrutinizing is much more intense for this time around because they want to prevent making the same mistake that Thaksin did when he appointed Pichit as one of his ministers. So you can see that they are taking so much time to vet all of the proposed cabinet ministers. But regardless, Paetongtarn said earlier today that the list, hopefully, it will be finalized by the end of this week and also submitted for royal assent. And just to give you a recap of the seat allocation within this government, Pheu Thai party, of course, will have the most seats, which will be up to 17 seats. Phum Jai Thai party will have 8 seats. The United Thai Nation party will get 4 seats. And now the Democrat Party will get 2 cabinet seats, while Chhat Thai Patana and Pracha Chat parties will get 1 seat each.
Given that role-based scenario here, so of course it has taken a long time, few weeks for Paetongtarn to make the list completed, because of course we've seen actually earlier this month we talked about it already, BIMSTEC summit, those international relations, those international events will take place in Bangkok with the government of Paetongtarn, but they have been postponed because of the cabinet list.
Right, so we'll have to wait and see when the cabinet list will be finalized. Paetongtarn said that it might be by the end of this week. And there are a few names already that came out, but then we will wait for the final version.
Yeah.
And turning to local elections in Ratchaburi province, there is some significance for the local elections in Ratchaburi province, because this is actually the very first time that the People's Party has actually competed, and this is the very first time since its predecessor Move Forward Party was dissolved by the Constitutional Court last month. So a former mayor of the Ratchaburi Provincial Administrative Organization, Wiwat Niti Kanchana, has won the mayor election, which took place yesterday. Although Wiwat is not a member of the Pheu Thai party, he is much supported by the ruling party at the moment. And after all the votes were counted, Wiwat won a total of 242,000 votes, while his competitor Chairat Sak Isarapong, representing the People's Party, earned 175,000 votes. And you can see that that is a huge margin by 66,000 votes. So that's we can say that is a landslide victory for Wiwat right there. And upon realizing that he was leading by over 60,000 votes last night, Wiwat took this opportunity to thank the people of Ratchaburi province for their support and vowed to carry on with his unfinished work in the province, because he used to be the former mayor and then he resigned and then he competed again this year. Meanwhile, the People's Party leader Nathapong Reung Panyawut announced after the votes were counted, accepting their local election defeat while also thanking the people for the votes, while admitting that the People's Party did not have much time to campaign for the local elections in Ratchaburi and have not managed to gain enough trust from the people. They still believe that the party can still compete in other local elections. Meanwhile, Election Commission Chairman Ithipon Bumprakong told the media yesterday evening that he was satisfied with the voter turnout, which is expected to be over 75% compared to 68% 4 years ago. So we can see that even though it's just a local election, we can see huge significance. So with the increased voter turnout, it means that the local people seem to understand the importance of the elections and having a leader to administer the province.
That's the power struggle for People's Party, because this is the first election for People's Party to show their strength in election because this is the direct result from the trust of the people. And of course, you talk about the elected
Yep.
PAO governor here. I think, of course, what you talk about that already. He already has strong foundation, strong base, and People's Party, they don't have a lot of time to campaign for this one to gain a lot of trust from the people. So, of course, I think this time People's Party, of course, they lost this election, and the new leader already said they will put their efforts for next one.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's going to be a challenge for the
Yeah.
People's Party to gain the trust from the local people because since the Move Forward Party was dissolved and then now they have reincarnated as the People's Party, it's going to be a huge task for the party to gain the trust and gain the popularity from the local people as well. So hopefully they might win other elections, local elections rather. So we'll wait and see.
Yeah, and People's Party, actually, the now defunct Move Forward Party, and right now, of course, transformed to become People's Party. Normally, they are strong at urban
Yes.
areas, and then this local election might be their pain point, so they have to find a way to
Yeah.
drive through it. Another issues that we talk about is the flooding situation actually in north and northeastern provinces right now. And the Ministry of Tourism reported that Thailand's tourism sector has heavily lost shy of 500 million baht due to severe flooding in northern Thailand. The tourism minister revealed last Thursday that the ministry is closely monitoring the flooding situation in several key areas, including Chiang Rai, Phayao, Nam, Phrae, Sukho Thai, and Uttaradit, those northern parts of Thailand. The floods have led to a significant drop in visitor numbers by 57,092, resulting in a decline in tourism revenue of about 200 million baht. Additionally, the livelihood of 628 tourism workers have been impacted. Some tourist attractions have been forced to close temporarily due to floods and landslides. And government, of course, they talk about the plan now to help those people who are affected by floods. The government plans to revive a 200 billion baht water management project aimed at alleviating severe flooding in the Yom River in northern Thailand, amid renewed calls to revisit the controversial dam proposal. Caretaker Deputy Prime Minister and Commerce Minister Pheu Thai announced the initiative yesterday while distributing 200 relief bags to residents affected by floods in Sukho Thai province. And the Deputy Prime Minister also stated that he intends to propose to the Cabinet on Tuesday to prioritize water management as a national agenda with a budget allocation of 200 billion baht. And he said if everyone here agrees, we will reconsider the plan to ensure that the Yom River has flood storage areas. Pheu Thai also said and those who oppose the proposed project should discuss their concern with those suffering from floods. So it's a very significant issue in Thailand right now. Of course, we're still seeing those rain dropping down from the air in northern part of Thailand. It hasn't stopped.
You can see the damage on screen that most of the households have been affected by the floods. They are severely flooded and many of the families are affected by this. You can see that, we've seen a lot of pictures and footages of families trying to cross the floods just to get food and trying to feed their children during this difficult time.
And so many actually charitable organizations, they call for clothes, they call for food, they call for everything, grocery stuffs that people can donate to northern and northeastern part of Thailand to help those get affected, because this is a very, very huge amount of rain at this time and still dropping from the air at this timing.
Yep, and there have been reports recently that with the water discharge from the dams, and it might come to Bangkok or in nearby provinces, most of the local administrations are on alert right now.
Yeah, but we will still wait for the correct information right now because, of course, right now I think the flood front still in the northern part of Thailand rather than come to the central part yet. But also, I think meteorologists, they are monitoring very closely to see if the huge amount of water will come to Thailand, central Thailand, or including Bangkok too. But now, not yet.
Not yet, but we still have to stay vigilant. And if you are in these areas, please stay safe and just be careful as well, because there have been weather forecasts that there might be heavy rain as well, or thunderstorms. So
for the rest of this week,
yeah, for the rest of this week as well. All right, and that wraps up tonight's edition of Thai PBS World Tonight. Join us every Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Thai PBS World's Facebook and YouTube Live. And don't forget to follow us on social media and our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest updates about Thailand as well as analyses. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ